Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up, Shankar? That was awesome.
Yeah, well, guess what? AI makes it possible if you know how.
Yeah, and you're really leaning into all the AI video stuff, but yeah, this conversation should be awesome. Hopefully,
I think so. I think so because we will talk about the following topic. Ah, I love these tools.
I know. So if you're just listening, you didn't see it. It says AI in marketing.
100%. Yeah. AI in marketing. And yeah, you brought up a good topic earlier when we prepared this. You said the first reaction that we as marketers had when ChatGPT came out, what was that? What was that for you, Sinead?
It was. I knew something. I knew it was not gonna be a fad or different. Like people were writing it off initially, but when I saw that, it really showed me like what could potentially be possible with AI, and that at least I had highly underestimated it, and that the changes that are coming and going to come are going to be much faster than we originally thought.
Mm-hmm. My initial reaction was I was defensive actually as a person who operates a business who relies on clients needing marketing expertise. I felt threatened.
I think that's a natural reaction. I think a lot of people did. Um, and I don't know if I felt threatened, but I knew that I would rather be on the right side of it versus the wrong side. I
Mhm.
rather lean into that than just stay behind or try to ignore it. Just in that moment, I just intuitively, I was like, I need to lean into this 100%. Not just for me, but to be able to disseminate the information to other people.
Yeah, that's a very good point you make, making the information available to other people, which I believe that is at the heart of why we decided to start this podcast. Again, from me as someone who is an employer, my first reaction was, okay, is this going to jeopardize the business? But the next one was, I mean, at that point, I still had the utopic idea that I might be able to hide it from my employees. Of course, that was absolutely wrong because the knowledge about ChatGPT took the world by storm. And but I had a moment where I was like, am I gonna tell them that because of the fear of them, just like I don't know what I was afraid of, but I quickly realized, well, you have to expose them to that. You have to teach them how to use these tools. Otherwise, you really put them in an unfair situation where they cannot perform at the level that the world has all of a sudden gotten.
Yeah, and that is why we decided to do this podcast, because I went to Apple Podcasts and I was just like, I'd love to listen to an AI podcast with practical updates for business, not just I understand the whole AI ethics, or I partly understand it. I understand why it's important. And but at the end of the day, I'm not a coder and I'm pretty practical. I think that the whole ethical and philosophical thing, it requires a lot of time privilege and just like different things. I mean, business owners that are in the weeds, they need practical things about how to leverage AI to make more money, to maybe then have that amount of time to ponder about philosophy or whatever. And I
Mhm.
didn't see that it existed. Like I texted Shankar and Andrea immediately, and I think that there needs to be an AI podcast that not only is, I don't want to say understandable, but where people where we talk in your language and it's easy to understand and it's not boring, and we give you a little bit of tidbits, and you could go apply it and try it and see if it works for your business.
Yeah, I love that. And I want people to definitely call us out if we get too theoretical. But I know, Shanae, that you are so practically minded and you just always think about, well, how can this help my community? And that's why I'm very confident that we'll make that happen. If for the sole reason right now of understanding that if we don't expose people, individuals, freelancers, consultants, businesses to this, they might really be at risk of being in that situation where in a few months they are not competitive enough anymore and they might become obsolete. I think that is a real threat here if you don't embrace this.
100%. And I especially want to disseminate this to, the underdogs, the small business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants that have really built whatever they have from the ground up. And you're absolutely right. If you don't learn to leverage this technology to your advantage, you're going to have competition that does, and that competition will just eat up the market share, and you go into a danger zone where maybe you won't be able to provide for your family the way that you want to, and we don't want that to happen. So that's why we're doing this podcast, and this episode is just like the initial reaction, and we'll find our footing. But hopefully each other episode is just 10 to 15 minutes of, hey, this is how you go do this, and you could actually go do it versus just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to marketing, you are truly, you are a thought leader, you are a major influencer on LinkedIn. And how do you see AI influence marketing?
I think it's going to be like how if you say digital marketing today, it's kind of redundant, right? Where it's like, okay, well, 90 whatever percent of marketing is digital, except when a product is so good that then it also word of mouth catapults that. It's going to be the same with AI. There's going to be a point where marketing, and we could argue that there already is a point for many marketing campaigns that it will be redundant to say AI marketing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to just be weaved into everything that we do.
Yeah, what I think will happen is that AI just takes everything, or maybe even has already taken everything to a level that's just a notch up, a level higher, and everyone will intrinsically have an expectation as to speed and quality of marketing, whether you do it yourself or you do it for someone else. Understanding the tools available to you allows you to be more efficient, more specific, more well versed. And it's just really, I think that is where the positive aspect of it comes into play. It makes all of us really way more efficient and specific and well rounded, because it helps us compensate for weaknesses, inefficiencies we may have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it's just understanding how to leverage it, because there's so much that you could leverage it for that I feel like a lot of the small business owners just get overwhelmed. When you can use something for a million things and you don't really have the guidance on where you should start or what are the first 3 steps to take for your specific situation, then it could be very confusing, overwhelming, and then just nothing gets done. So, and a lot of the business owners that are 40, 50, 60, 70, maybe you're just even starting a side thing for fun after retirement. A lot of the times, like technology or technological skills are weakness, which is fine, which is why we want to make this information as simple as possible. It doesn't have to get so complicated like other marketing experts may explain. It could be simple, and that's the point of this podcast, is like, how can you achieve this goal with the least resistance, with the least amount of tech skills? Because I'm not a coder by any means, and I don't even have any interest in becoming a coder. So if I can do it, then you can do it too. So that's you're way more technical than me, Shankar.
Yes, I am. But at the same time, I have also learned that with the rate, the speed of how things go nowadays, more often than not, you don't have the choice to be as technical as you could be. Just because you can doesn't mean it's a good idea. It's really, we have gotten to a point where we need to embrace the tools to meet our reality that we live in. And, there's this question, and I know ChatGPT has been spoken about often, but I think it is still, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is still, maybe if we wanted to speak to people who say, well, where do I start? I think a good way is start opening your ChatGPT account if you haven't done so yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we could show them how to do that.
Yeah, I think we could.
So if you're watching the video, we'll kind of go through on the screen how to even open a ChatGPT account and the different tiers. So there's a free version, and for now, I guess it's going to stay free, open to the public. And then there's a paid version, and I believe there's still waitlist for that version. Is that correct, Shankar?
Yes, I think that the adoption rate worldwide is so fast that OpenAI has to throttle that down. So that's why there's a wait list.
Yeah. And then, so we'll kind of go through on screen right now how to go to the website, what the website is, how to sign up for an account for free, and maybe get on the wait list. It's $20 a month if you want Chat GPT Plus. And the reason why I'm paying for it, Shankar's paying for it, is because you don't get restricted with how much you could use it. It doesn't say, hey, we're too busy. And for me, the $20 is worth that, not banging my head against the desk because I can't get into ChatGPT. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I am in my browser and looks like you can only see the browser. So let me see if I can actually share it with the URL, because that is really what our viewers need to know. Yeah. Okay. So as you know, this is the browser where you navigate the internet, and then you come in and you type in, I believe it's chat.openai.com. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Chat.openai.com. You type that into your browser, you hit enter, and it takes you to this white screen where you can either log in or you can sign up. Now, if you don't have an account yet, which we assume is the case here, then we are going to sign up. So now you have two options. You can either use your email address, any email address really that you have, or you can log in with an existing Google account. For a lot of you, that is probably easiest to use your Gmail account or your Office 365 or Outlook account. So in my case, I know that I have a Gmail account that I haven't used yet. So I'll try and use that. I click continue with Google. And then it asks me, well, what is your address that you want to use? So I think I have one that is shankswebdev@gmail.com. And then you hit next. Now you got to know the password, which I have to take a moment to find that on another screen.
Oh, the good old forgetting passwords.
But I have it here and I paste it over and then I hit next. All right, so now it wants to make sure that I am really who I am. So I should be getting a code texted to the number associated with the account. And let me see if I have gotten it. Oh, I think I need to click send first. Now I get it. Okay, so on my smartphone, I got my code and typed that in 858454, and then I click next.
Yay.
And almost there. It already knows my first name and my last name. Okay, continue. I need to verify my phone number here again. So maybe I should briefly stop sharing if I don't want the entire world to start texting me. I'll
Stop
come back.
share real quick and put the phone number. We don't need Shankar getting blown up on his texts.
All right, that's done. So I got the code texted and I'll just enter that here, 8054. All right, and I think we're in. This is a free research preview. Okay, read all of that. And as you can see, we are in. It's a free service for ChatGPT. And yeah, now the fun begins.
And then what you could do is, I believe, if you want to, you see the new to the left, the yellow. If you wanted to upgrade to plus, like if you wanted unlimited access, I guess now it just allows you to upgrade. So they have the free plan, which we see it's available when demand is low. So it's not always available. It's a standard response speed. It's regular model updates. If you update to plus, which is $20 a month, it's available when demand is high. So it lets you use it all the time. It's a faster response speed and priority access to new features, like when ChatGPT 4 came out. Plus members like Shankar and I had access. So to upgrade that, you would just click the green button and then put in, I guess, your payment information and stuff like that. But you could start with the free. If you're a business owner, I think it'd just be worth it to you to get the plus. And no, we're not getting paid by ChatGPT.
No, we're not. We're not. So yeah, I mean that is it. And then here,
that's the first step.
Yeah,
And
that's the first step.
And then I think the only other thing to mention in this first step episode is that's the technical first step. And the strategic first step is really identifying where is most of your income coming from. Like, what's your most highest producing income activity? So if your highest producing income activity is when you post videos on TikTok, and then when you post videos on TikTok, people are booking consultations, or when you post videos on LinkedIn, you find that people are booking consultations, and you post 2 videos a week. With ChatGPT, you could start to leverage this tool to maybe up it to 3 to 4 videos a week, and then maybe double your consultations, or just have the AI review the videos you are doing to create higher quality videos, the same amount, but that get you more engagement, get you in front of more of the right people, get you more consultations. So maybe that's something we could touch on more deeply in the next episode, is really identifying where's the first point of leverage for business owners. And I think you only should focus on the first, because if you start focusing on 25 leverage points, it's going to feel overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot of what is going on right now is there's so many things to try and explore, but especially for you who are most likely, if this video was appealing to you, you are at the beginning, and we will help you and guide you through at the right pace where you take away most of the important elements for your success.
Yeah, and to help us kind of decipher what questions you want answered in future episodes, if this is going to stream live at some point, we aren't really even 100% with how we're going to distribute this. And that's just transparent. We want to bring you on the journey, but we want you to submit questions to us and we'll get that down operationally. Maybe we'll have an email or something. But if this is streaming live and there's a place to comment, ask questions because we'll take those questions and we'll answer you specifically in an episode. Or is that cool?
That is very cool. Like, yeah, if it is streaming
Like,
live.
no, that's not
No, I was like, I was already. I mean, you can look up Shanae or myself. Basically, we're easy to find online. So let us know your questions, and then we will get to answering all of that.
Yes, and these videos are going to be hosted somewhere, which will be announced when we figure that out on the back end. But a lot of what you're listening to is hard to visualize. So if you want to come on the journey, like the video journey, or maybe you're already watching the video, just know that it's important to see these things as well. And we're going to take the time to go through the steps, because a lot of people will say, oh, well, go to ChatGPT, but they're not showing you the steps. So that's really, you want to really be the guides along the way, and no question is too simple. So I just want to say that.
I agree. I love going step by step through the process. Like, we just signed up for a new account here with you in real time, and we know that will help you a lot.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us for the first episode. It'll get more organized as we go. And have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.